I'm seeing a slight light at the end of the tunnel. We still can't defend to save us lives, but a slight light to the end of the tunnel. Lads, lads, lads! Lads, 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 welcome back to another match reaction. I don't really know what to say about that. If we didn't score that second goal, this would probably be a lot different match reaction. When the strikers were introduced towards the end, Brewster and Mousse, we started to believe, even at 3-1 down, we started to believe that we could score goals. We looked a little bit sharper. When McGoldrick scored, they just oozed confidence. Mousse nearly got the goal to take it to 3-3. It was a good volley, good height for Henderson, but it almost felt like we were going to get something from that game. And I think Man United kind of went into the shell a little bit. We were a little bit shell shocked that we came back in that game, but as Ali McCoy said, he never expected for it to be a bit nervy at the end because of the difference in class. But a result like this could turn a season. Now, yeah, it wasn't the right result. We still lost by 1 goal. But we scored 2. That's the most we've scored in any game all season. We looked better going forward, especially towards the end, especially when Brewster came on and Mousse came on. But it just shows you the goals just make players more confident, even if they don't score the goal. If we're scoring goals, they will be more confident. It hit the back of McGoldrick's head, went in the back of the net, and then suddenly it's great link-up play, creating chances, nearly scoring goals. So I've got to say, when Brewster came on, we looked a hell of a lot better, and I never expected to say that at the start of the game. I think he just had space. He had space, and he's great technically. He just needs to get that bit of confidence, realise that he is a Premier League player, and start playing like it. But when he's got the ball, he looks great. He just looked a different player when he came on the pitch. He didn't look like a boy amongst men. It looked like he belonged. Anyway, let's go back to the beginning. We went 1-0 up early on. I couldn't see it staying 1-0 all the game. Not just because of what's happened previously this season, but more because we were just getting caught constantly. Against Southampton in that first half, they were just clipping balls over the top for Walcott and Danny Ings to run onto. And obviously Ollie and all his staff had been watching that Southampton game and just saw that all they needed to do was clip balls over the top and they were straight onto him. Now, when Basham was playing at centre-back, it wasn't as glaring that we were getting caught with those clips over the top. But when Jags came on and went at centre-back, definitely felt like we were getting done constantly. I think Chris Wilder, in hindsight, made a mistake bringing Jags on. I'm not sure why anyone would bring Jags on, because against the pace that they've got, when you're playing against Martial, against Rashford, against Greenwood, Jags is not quick enough to keep up with them. So, yeah, I wouldn't have brought Jags on. I'd have definitely put someone else in that role. Even Ampadu. I'd have put Ampadu there. I would have. Or obviously just left Basham there and brought on someone to replace Sander Berger in midfield. Osborne could have done a job on that right-hand side, even with him being left-footed. Just not sure what his thinking was, really. But, yeah, we went 1-0 up. Dean Henderson making the mistake, which was a little bit crazy. I felt a tiny bit sorry for him, but not really. we scored a goal, and we went 1-0 up, and it was brilliant. It was great. I've been banging on all season that Ollie Burke was going to nick the ball off someone, and today was the day. He nicked it off David Luiz. He should have got David Luiz sent off against Arsenal. He's been so close to nicking the ball off keepers, defenders, all season long, and he's done it tonight. And not just that, he hurtled himself at Dean Henderson, blocked his pass, and then had the had the kind of artistry to kind of turn on it and then flick it to Didsy, even though he was on the floor, as you can see right now. We'll move away from that because that's all I really wanted to use that picture for. And then Didsy put it away very, very well, obviously. Open net, couldn't really miss, but took it well. Didsy's obviously probably the only player with confidence at the moment, but we kind of oozed confidence in that second half. I feel like we kind of weathered the storm at 3-1, sorry. It could have gone maybe 4 or 5-1, which obviously that would have killed the confidence. But getting that goal back, not letting any more goals in, and obviously looking like we could have got a draw out of that game, that is what we wanted. Like, we haven't got the result, but it's given them confidence. You could see that they were taking the game to Man United towards the end. I thought Fleck was a whole lot better. I said just before the end of the match, I feel like the lads that have been playing for us for years, and definitely last season, stepped up today. I thought Egan was colossal. Egan had to do the job of 3 men today because Jack Robinson was out of position quite a lot, lost his man quite a lot. Jags wasn't quick enough. Egan must have blocked umpteen shots and got in the way, stopping them from kind of running through us. Egan was my man of the match today. Even though McGoldrick bagged his 2 goals, Egan was my man of the match. I thought he was excellent. I thought Fleck stepped up as well. Still wasn't the Fleck of last season, but he was definitely better today. I thought he was not too bad against Leicester. Obviously gave the ball away a couple of times cheaply, but I think he's getting back to not back to his best, but he's definitely getting better. Unlucky that Sander got injured when he did, because it would have been nice to have seen Sander today go at these Man United players there, because I think Sander on the ball is great, and with everybody else stepping up like they did, I think Sander would have stepped up too. It was definitely a captain's performance from John Egan today. So John Egan played well. Fleck played well. Baldock, again, every week, just a solid performance. But I think he was a little bit better than he has been today. Basham, you can play him anywhere on the park and Basham will do an excellent job. That little flick over, I think it was Matic's head, when he got a little bit too close to him, little flick over the top. That's Chris Basham that we signed from Blackpool, wasn't it? Played centre mid. Terrible, terrible player in League One back in the day. Gritty, determination, that's what's got him to the top. And now he's flicking the ball over Premier League players' heads and running onto it and creating chances. It's amazing to see. Like I said, Basham did well in midfield. But the problem is we need about 6 Chris Bashams on that pitch, because we couldn't really afford to lose him at right centre back. And the problem is, I would love to see Chris Basham play that right centre mid role. I really, really would. And I thought he was going to get a goal today before they put him back to right centre back, because he is one of them players that will arrive in the box late. And a couple of times, if the ball would have been a little bit better, I think he'd have probably got a goal for us. But the problem is, we can't play him right centre mid because he's too good at right centre back, and we've got no one to replace Jack O'Connell, let alone Chris Basham. So anyway, as I've said, Southampton game, we were constantly getting done with balls clipped over the top. Ollie's watched it, hasn't he? And Pogba clipping balls over the top. Fernandes clipping balls over the top all day long. The first one, I think it was Wan-Bissaka, played a long ball and Rashford made a beautiful run. And the thing is, with that, the only thing I can say that Jags did wrong was he could have just stood in Rashford's way and just stopped him from running. He might have got booked. He wouldn't have got sent off. I can assure it. So all he needed to do was just stand in his way, just stop him from running, let him fall to the floor, take a booking. We wouldn't have conceded. It would have still been 1-0. And that's where I think Jags' experience should have told today. Rashford made a beautiful run. He might not have seen him. He might not have, but he ran across him. So he could have stepped in and just stopped him. Rashford went through. Beautiful touch, like everyone banged on about. It was a beautiful touch. And it was a great finish. Ramsdale had no chance. We'll get on to Ramsdale. Don't worry about that. And then the second goal came, obviously. A little ball flicked over by Pogba. Martial played the line great. except for the fact that Ender Stevens was stood a long way back, very, very deep, not online. Ender Stevens played him on completely. Aaron Ramsdale, he dallied for me. He should have come out. He should have looked big. And he almost like hesitated and then went and then just threw his body at the ball. He just doesn't look like he's confident in coming out and just making himself big. He just threw himself at the ball and almost like threw himself. I don't know if it was under or over the ball, but it just felt odd. And the ball just kind of hit him and went over him for easy tapping. He just doesn't fill me with confidence when he's coming. He should be coming out making himself massive like a Peter Schmeichel would do and just intimidate. Like, I know he's not a massive guy, but throwing yourself at the ball like that, that's what he does. That if he's in trouble, he throws himself at a ball without really thinking about it. And I'm not blaming him for that completely, because it's difficult when a really, really good player is coming at you one-on-one. It's difficult. But I definitely thought he could have done better for that second goal. Ender Stevens' fault for playing him on. But yeah, it was just another poor goal to concede a little flick over the top. We're just getting done all the time. And the problem is, other teams are going to watch us. And they're going to see that we keep getting done by that little flick over the top. And they're just going to keep doing it to us. And I'm not worried now for the goals. I feel the goals will come. My worry is that we can't defend. Before we were worried because we weren't getting forward. That left centre back wasn't getting forward, but now we just can't defend at all. So I'm worried. I'm worried about the defensive side, but hopefully we can start putting some results together, getting some draws, getting some wins, scoring some goals, and hopefully we'll make the end of the season a little bit more exciting than what currently it's looking like it will be. Anyway, so went in at half time, a little bit disappointed yet again. It's like the Liverpool game. We were 1-0 up and then conceded just before the half time. You feel a little bit disappointed, a little bit deflated. We were 1-0 up today and then we let 2 sloppy goals in. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing going in, but I still think that we played particularly well. Played some better football, passed it around well, created chances. Fleck, I mentioned that Fleck had a golden chance where Basham flicked the ball over, got it out to Ollie Burke. Ollie Burke played the ball beautifully to Fleck. I thought he was going to put it across the box, it did say, but he picked out Fleck perfectly. And I'm not sure why he went for that corner. Like, everybody could see that Dino was edging towards that side. And I don't know if it's because, I think it was Wan-Bissaka came across and he thought that if he'd have gone across the goalkeeper, Wan-Bissaka might have blocked it. But it just felt like it should have gone across the keeper and he didn't. He went into the corner where he was facing. And I think even if he got it on target, Dean Henderson would have saved it. He hit it with some pace, but you could see Dean Henderson had it covered, really. Poor, that could have been 2-0. That could have put them under a lot of pressure. Now, don't get me wrong, Man United have come back from 2-0 down in recent times, and they probably would have come back from that. But the fact that Fleck could have put them 2-0 down, they'd have been a bit shell-shocked from that. We could have gone on to win that game or even get a point out of that game. That third goal was an absolute calamity, though. Fleck got too close to Pogba, first of all, and he just rolled him so easy. And then Ampadu flies in with his left boot, and Pogba just roulettes past him. It was just a little bit embarrassing. It was nice. It was nice to watch from a football watching point of view, but Ampadu just flew in thinking, I can take the ball off one of the best players in the world. Now, yeah, I'm not. We're not going to get into that, but he's a great, great player, Pogba. And he just flew in, trying to take that ball off him, and he just danced around him. Then played it through to Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood. And then the problem was that Jags did everything right. He did everything right. That experienced defender took him out. That's what he needed to do. Take him out, and he did perfectly. But then George Baldock just stood there and just expected them to get the free kick. So he just stood there and just were like, well, that's a free kick to them. Martial, I think, picked it up and just ran with it. And it's like, George, why didn't you just go to that ball? Even if you'd have got it, the referee would have given a free kick, and then we could have reset and gone again. But he just stood there and just like, that's a free kick. And then realised that, they're playing on. Ball gets played through to Rashford, thinking, this is 3-1. No problem at all. Rashford will smash this in the back of the net, Jamie Vardy style. And he tickled it straight at Aaron Ramsdale. You can't let those in. Now, I know what's happened here. It's one of those where it's a poor shot. The keeper's going wide, expecting it to be a better shot, and it's gone underneath his body. He could have stood there and kicked it away, couldn't he? Like, I'm not expecting him to do that, because you expect Marcus Rashford to smash the ball at you. Like, you expect him to smash it past you, but at least have a good shot. It was a poor shot. It was terrible goalkeeping. And that's another 2 goals that he could have done better with today. I'm sick of saying it. It's every week. Now, he had a good game against Southampton, but he's not good enough. We've paid 18 million for him, and I know Chris Wilder will not want to admit defeat, and he will keep playing him all season long. But for me, we need to just go to Watford and say, here's 4-5 million. Let us have Ben Foster. Let us have Ben Foster. Even if we only had him for half a season and we stayed up, that 4-5 million is worth it. Now, I know he's old. I don't even care anymore. We need an experienced goalkeeper between the sticks. We had Dean Henderson last season. Dean Henderson is a very, very good goalkeeper, and he will continue to be a very, very good goalkeeper. But Dean Henderson is young. Dean Henderson made mistakes, and he made another mistake tonight. And really, he probably could have done better with Didzy's second. He kind of just stood there and expected it to go wide, and it didn't. You always know that he's got that little bit of a fumble in him, or a little bit of a like doing something stupid with the ball at his feet. Aaron Ramsdale's the same, but 10 times worse. Like, there's shots at him that he lets under his body. His decision making is horrendous sometimes. He'll come out and punch a ball when it's easy to catch, and they'll try and catch a ball that's easier to punch. It's his decision making that lets him down every single time. He's not good enough. He's not. Yeah, fair enough, he's making some saves. He's not making many extremely good saves. Like, he made a few against Southampton. He's making the saves that he should make, and he's not doing anything with the saves that he could possibly save, if you know what I mean. He's just not good enough. The problem is, we've got 3 other keepers on the books that are also not good enough. League One Wes, not good enough. Simon Moore, he's not a Premier League goalkeeper. He's a bottom-end Championship goalkeeper. And then Michael Verrett, we've seen absolutely nothing of him. So that obviously says to me that Wilder doesn't think he's any good. So the problem is, we've signed 2 poor goalkeepers in League One Wes and Ramsdale. If Wilder has got some bottle about him, what he needs to do, he needs to step up, say I made a mistake, say that Ramsdale could be a goalkeeper for the future, but for now, we need to bring in an experienced goalkeeper that isn't going to make these mistakes. We could have gone down, like I said, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, but we didn't. We stuck in there. There was one where John Egan made an excellent block on the line. Again, Egan was brilliant. And then we brought on kind of Moose and Brewster and tried to go for it. I was a bit gutted that Ollie Burke come off, but he run his race. He was excellent today. And I think we need to carry on playing him, but we'll get on to that. Brewster was great when he came on. Moose was a little bit trampoline foot. But once we scored, they were excellent. And if we'd have scored 5 minutes earlier, it really, really could have been a game that we could have got a point out of. So, yeah, obviously Didzy got the quite lucky goal where Lindelof headed it off his head and in. I think that's the reason why no one really celebrated at first, because it was a bit of a freak goal, a bit of a fluke goal. But that's the little bit of luck that you need when you're down at the bottom. Fair enough, it didn't kind of get us anything out of the game, but it certainly gave them that confidence, and hopefully we can take that into the next game. What I think we need to do going forward is just try and attack. So what I would do is I would play Ollie Burke up front with either Ollie McBurney or Brewster, and then have David McGoldrick in behind them in the Duffy role, if you like, because David McGoldrick was unplayable at times today. Like, fair enough, he played a couple of poor passes, got caught on the ball once or twice, but he just makes things happen. We don't have any other players in the squad that does what McGoldrick does. So what I would do, I would just fully go all out, play, instead of playing the overlapping centre-backs, get Baldock forward, get Enda Stevens forward, play 3 deep centre-backs that just defend, nothing else, just defend. Fair enough, Basham, if we're losing, could go forward, but get the wing-backs forward, keep the centre-backs back, get McGoldrick in that little Duffy role just to create stuff. Fleck can get forward from time to time. Sander, if he's fit, can get forward from time to time, or Lundstrom, or whoever plays on that right-hand side. One can obviously sit, and then we can just create chances, hopefully. I really enjoyed us going forward today. I did, and I've not said that all season. I don't know if that's because McBurney wasn't there today, because I think McBurney does stop attacks sometimes, and we do kind of boot the ball up to his head so much. Today we played football. Obviously, we still knock the ball long sometimes to McGoldrick, and he won some balls. He held it up a little bit as well, but we also played the football on the deck, and I thought Ollie Burke was excellent today. I feel like he needs to do that every week, 60, 70 minutes, run himself into the ground, scare teams half to death, and when they're tired, bring on Brewster and Mousse to do what they did tonight. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, people. Really, really appreciate it. I'm seeing a slight light at the end of the tunnel. We still can't defend to save us lives, but a slight light to the end of the tunnel. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you are new around here, please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, like it, and stay good, Nick.
Look at that ping from Norwood. Makes other teams look no good. Yeah. We've got a team full of leaders. Alan Hill, Chris Wilder taught us. Right. Yeah, there was us on the tour bus. Yeah. Look how many goals Billy scored us. It's beautiful downtown Bromley Lane. We are the boys from Shore.